Welcome everybody, Brandon Schaefer here. I want to try something different, try something new with this vlog, so I hope you'll enjoy that. And I'm just going to have some fun here and work on a painting and just talk to you guys and maybe explain a little bit of what I'm doing in my process and just talk about anything. So I'll show you guys the photo I'm painting from. It's a photo that I took a week or two ago, and I mentioned it in my last vlogs about on an overcast day. I just went out near my apartments and took some photos, and this is the one that appealed to me the most at the moment, so I'm just painting it. And I'm working a little larger than I normally do, or that I have been. Lately I've been doing 6x8s or 4x6s, all kinds of small paintings. So this is a 12x16 that I've had laying around for a long while. It was actually a old color chart that I made back when I painted with acrylic, so I figured might as well just paint over it. So so anyway, what I've done so far, and let me show you guys a better close-up of it. Alright, so what I've done so far is not much. I did the sketch and kind of dry brushed in some greens and some of the red, the grayish reds down here and up here, and just put the darks in. And probably doesn't look anything, it's not going to look anything like this when it's finished. It's going to look way better. But for right now, and I want to point out something that's very important with this, and what I noticed is that almost all the darks are going to be connected. And that's something very important. I can talk a little bit more. Something that John Singer Sargent did in a lot of his portraits and scenes and landscapes is, depending upon the scene, is that he would have like a figure in a white dress or something like that, and then everything else would just be dark around it. So he was able to connect these lights and connect the darks. And that's something I noticed in this scene, is that all the darks over here connects to these darks. This is a fence going behind the trees, connects the darks into the trees, and then connects the darks over here. And all this is in light, and as well as all this up here. And there's actually, the fence actually lightens up here a little bit, so that's actually going to connect all of the lights together, and then all of the darks will be one shape. So making that able to work as a scene hopefully will be interesting. So that's where it's at so far. Alright, so I don't want this to be a super long vlog for you guys to sit and watch, but hopefully you find it enjoying to watch. So I'm just going to jump in here and start painting a little bit more. I think in the foreground here it's mostly leaves. I'll pop the photo up on the screen here. It's mostly leaves in the foreground. So I'm going to try kind of like an impressionistic technique, not in the true sense of impressionism, but maybe some of that, but basically just short strokes and kind of trying that out, thicker paint, and see where it goes. If I don't like it, I can just take a palette knife and scrape most of it off and reuse the paint, so that's not a big deal to me. I might try that over here as well, just putting on some thicker strokes, showing some leaves, so some suggestion of leaves. But anyway, I've started out more with a larger brush. I think this is a number 10, so not very large, but just cleaning my brush there. It's on the floor, so I got to clean it on the floor. My thinner and towels are on the floor, so anyway, I'm standing up doing this painting. It's what I like doing. So I'm going to work on, just keep jumping from color to color. I kind of pre-mixed all the colors on my palette already, some of the major color groups. So, you know, the little yellow leaves down here, the reds, the greens, the darks, the grays of the trees. And then I can just mix little variations of that when I need to. One thing I forgot to mix was the light color in here, but it's mostly white, so white with a little bit of blue, a little bit of gray mixed in, and that'll fix it right up. So anyway, let me jump into this now. Not sure where I should go next. So let me work on these trees actually. That's probably something good to jump into. They're kind of like a reddish gray brown. And I want a lot of variation in these. There's a lot of different things in the bark going on. But for now, I'm just focusing on getting the color thrown on and the value correct. So that's one thing I'm kind of focusing on, is making sure I have the value down. And I'm not too worried about details and stuff. I'm just getting the major color groups here, color masses in for the most part. I'm not too concerned with how the strokes are going down. You know, a little bit, but it's just getting the values and the color. That's all that really matters for the most part. So just getting these branches and stuff. Some of these I could probably go in and put in with a palette knife, and I'll probably do that later. I'm gonna try to finish as much as I can with this painting right now, and just see what happens with it. And probably the next vlog, next week's vlog, or whenever I get around to it, I can show you guys hopefully I'll have a good finished painting to show you. I'll probably finish this one today or tomorrow or sometime this weekend. It's Friday right now, so you guys will probably see this video tomorrow or Sunday. So there's some of the grays of the tree. A lot of these other branches are dark. This was an overcast light, so it's just real subtle lighting coming from above, and not much reflected light. You know, a little bit that does come into play in the shadows and stuff, but not much. So what you're going to see is really dark, really warm shadows, because there's no cool blue of the sky jumping into up into the shadows. There's not going to have that cooler shadow going on. So you're getting this cooler light with the warmer shadows. So there's kind of the gray of the trees. I think I'm going to zoom this in here so you guys can see a little better. All right, there you go. So check it out a little closer. Hope you guys, hope that works out for you guys. And I'm just going to talk on about some things. You don't really need to see my face, you know what I mean? So I went on, a few days ago, I went on a day trip to Oregon, and that was kind of brutal. So kind of lighting the fence up right there. And that'll hopefully tie these lights together. But right now it's just basic shapes and things like that. So I'm probably going to work on this foreground a little bit. So I went on a day trip to Oregon, and that was pretty brutal. It left at about, and this was for work, we were doing some demonstrations of medical equipment for some folks that are thinking about buying it or would like to buy it. And we had 3 stops to go to in Oregon. And it was about 9 hours of driving the whole day through Oregon. And then we drove straight back at night, and I need more blue in that actually. So we left at like 5 in the morning from my house, and I got home at about 4 a.m. the next night. So it was a 23-hour day. It was pretty brutal. A lot of driving. I probably did 12 hours of driving. My boss did some of the other parts of the driving, but you know, it's still pretty long for me. So I didn't really get to work on anything. You know, I'm trying something new with these vlogs. I'm not sure what you guys want to see with these vlogs, or you know, I don't know if anybody will like this video, but it's kind of just showing kind of behind the scenes of me painting something. I figured it'd be cool for you guys to see, and just kind of how I start a painting, and hopefully you'll see where it ends up. Hopefully I can make this one good. But it's just going to take some time, like anything else. But, you know, I've thought about doing like a compilation, like every day do a little snippet of my day. And then I realized I don't do anything that interesting during the week. So I don't do that much. There's nothing, I don't know what you guys would want to see. There's not much going on with me. I just go to work, or I sit at home on the couch and I do work. And, you know, I post on social media. I make some vegetable juice, cook up some dinner, and just try to live an epic life. I paint when I get a chance. I make some videos about it, and here I am. So I'm kind of just indicating some colors here of what might end up in the final. I know there's some lighter greens up here. So I'm just trying to throw these on with like a broad brush right now. And I think I'm going to mix up some lighter color because I'm definitely going to need that. And this is all kind of like preparation for the next layer, all of this down here. So this reddish gray, some of the bright orange coming through, and the greens. There's a lot other lighter colors and yellows and stuff. So I'm just kind of working up to that. But this area should look totally different, I'm hoping. And just thicker paint. I'm going to try doing that and seeing what happens. I'm going to mix up some lighter color for the sky holes. There's actually there's some houses back here, and then over here is kind of the sky. Partly the sky, partly some houses. So I'll have to try to figure out what I'm going to do for that. Try to show like a separation or just make it interesting looking, make it look realistic. And part of that is just copying what I see, but also designing it. I want it to look good. I don't want it to just look like, you know, the photo is not the greatest thing. The sky holds really weird. There's trees behind these main trees that I have here. So I'm gonna have to design it a little bit and do my best with that. So we'll see. Let me get a smaller brush now, a little filbert, and just throw some of these in here for now and just try to see where I'm going with it. See where I'm headed here. I want these sky holes to define these branches that I'm going to be putting in here. So I'm making sure like the edge of the sky hole is going to be that lines up against the edge of a branch for the most part. But I definitely want some variation in here, and I want it to look realistic. So, you know, I don't want them all to be long strokes like that. I want them, some of them are going to be connected, and they don't have to physically touch or physically connect. They can be optically connected as long as they're close enough to each other. So what else happened this week with me? Not much. I mean, I just went on that day trip to Oregon, and that was kind of brutal, and then here I am. I didn't go into work today just because I don't know, not much going on really, and I did a lot of the work I needed to do from home, so I didn't really see a point of having to go in, and figured I'd rather get my work done early in the morning and then just do some painting. And my girlfriend was gone today, so I figured I'll make a video finally. It's been a while since I've been able to make a video. It's hard for me to make a video when other people are home. Like I can't talk in front of the camera when other people are home. I don't know why that is, but it's just kind of one of my things, like a self-conscious type of thing. But also other people make noise, and I like my videos to be quiet and be a certain way, and I can't have a lot of noise in the background. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be watching. So I'm kind of just throwing this on here right now for now. Just trying to make a roadmap to where I want to go in the next stage of this. So just trying to paint this on. And this is straight from the tube. I'm not using any thinner. I'm not using any medium. It's just straight from the tube. I don't like using mediums and stuff. I just use thinner in the beginning stages, and then I just build up to using it out of the tube for the most part, and that's how I like it. Look like thicker paint, dry brushing a little bit, and you know, some areas are dry brushed and some areas are on a lot thicker, or some with a little thinner so that they go on easily. So this probably looks like a mess to you guys, but hopefully it'll come in for me. Yeah, so hopefully it'll all come together, but I don't want to make a super long video because I'll sit here and paint for an hour or two on this one because it's a little larger, but just want to check in with you guys, show you a little bit of my process and painting in the beginning, because this is where it's going to look really bad, and a lot of people get to this stage in the painting and they don't know how to finish it. They don't know to just keep going, keep correcting stuff. If whatever needs to be corrected and touched up, touch it up, correct it. Keep finishing, keep working to that finishing stage. Also, I think I might make a video soon about my transition from acrylics to oils. I think that would be interesting for a lot of folks to hear, because I know my whole audience is acrylic painters, and then I out of nowhere in a few months I switched to oils. Right now I switched to oils, and I really love painting with oils, and it kind of like threw everyone off. They're like, "What? You're not going to paint with acrylics anymore?" You know, so I don't know if I'm losing a lot of followers or just people losing interest in my painting. And there's some acrylic folks that would like to switch to oils that don't know really anything about it. They don't know how to go about it. So if I just share my journey with you guys and what I did and how I got used to it, and it's really, I painted like this with acrylics. It's the exact same thing, except you don't use water, you just use thinner, or you use water mixable oils or water soluble oils, and you just use water, same as you would acrylics. There's no different. You start out, the first stage is very thin with a lot of thinner or a lot of water if you're using water soluble ones. And then you just build up to using the paint straight from the tube, or paint straight from the tube and then you add medium to it on top of that if you need to keep adding layers and layers. So it's just working the thin to the fat, you know, the lean to the fat, which fat being more oil in the paint. So it's very simple once you get used to it. It's just working with the drying times. They even have fast drying oils, so they dry within 24 hours. You just set it up, make a little drying rack, set it up, boom, it's dry the next day, and then you can start painting more if you need to. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe I'll do one more close-up just to show you where it is, and then hopefully next week, the next vlog, I can show you the finished product, and hopefully it'll look a little bit different than what it is right now. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll show you guys a close-up here. So there's a close-up at the moment. I didn't get much further. Didn't get as far as I'd liked for the video, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourself. Peace, my friends. Peace.